Should I turn it down?
Yeah, turn it down a little bit.
Down or up?
Down.
Okay.
Like just a smidge, like a quarter. You had to get down low for that.
Yeah. I couldn't see.
That is the lowest Matt has ever been down, ladies and gentlemen.
Facts. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Funny Business Podcast. As we always say, it's a good day to have a good day, and it's a good day to listen to a great podcast. Mike, I hope you are doing well today. I want to start the show with this, and this make me seem like I've been living under a rock for my whole life. But today, I texted you about this today on my walk. Well, actually not on my walk, so let me explain. So I was on TikTok this morning, and someone made a video talking about big booty mixes, and I was like, what the hell is big booty mixes? Like, I don't know what that is. So I went on Spotify, and it came up Two Friends Big Booty Mixes. I just discovered that today. It is fire.
Well, Matt, welcome to the club. Glad you can finally join us. Took you a couple years, but glad you're a part of the group now.
When did this start? Like, how did I not know about this?
I don't know specifically when, but I know they did anthems like since 2018, I think. So they've been like producing music for quite some time now. I don't think they gained popularity until 2019, because that was the time I heard it, was like early 2019, like summer. But I haven't heard much from that, but I know they're pretty recurring. Like they make not a lot of songs, but they certainly have a schedule for when they release songs. So
yeah, I listened to Volume 17, I think it was today. It was fire. There was like a Tiger King reference, and it was awesome. Like I also didn't know the one I listened to. I don't know if all their songs are like this. It was like an hour long.
Yeah, usually they're about an hour long.
Okay, yeah, I'm hooked. I only listened to the first one, or well, not the first one. Volume 17 or whatever. I don't know if that's their latest one. That's all I saw, but I'm hooked.
Well, Matt, I'm glad that you finally have some music to power walk during your walks that you usually go on, but certainly some bops. But I sent you a bop last night about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, the remix of, I can't remember the song. Which song it was.
You Belong With Me.
Yes. Was it?
Yeah.
I might look at my phone.
Matt, you're a big Taylor Swift fan.
No, I know. I just can't remember the song. Like, I remember listening to her. I just don't remember which of her songs it was. I'm finding this out. Hold on. It was You Belong With Me. Yep, you are correct.
Thanks.
No, that was fire. I do remember that.
Well, thanks, Matt. But as you all know, probably for sure, Taylor Swift is a local PA resident all the way from Reading, Pennsylvania, right around that area. I'm not 100%
something
sure.
Like that, yeah.
Something like that.
That sounds about right.
But, Matt, we are bringing a little bit of story for our entertainment topics today from home, believe it or not. So our opening topic to talk about today was a retail theft store. Retail theft happening at the good old Quakertown Farmers Market. Pretty interesting, Matt. You actually sent this to me. I thought we'd cover it. We found out that an exotic bird was stolen by a robber. The big news about this, it may seem, it's a bird. This cockatoo was valued at $3,200.
A cockatoos, like, are they rare?
I don't know.
Like, I don't think they are. Like, I don't understand. I know, like, cockatoos are... No, cockatoos, are they the ones that talk back to you, or those parrots? Or they're both?
Parakeets.
Parakeets. No.
Or is that a female parrot? Here we go with our birds.
See, in middle school, I was supposed to do a bird project, and then they canceled it. We had to do a leaf project instead.
No, cockatoo sits in the old tree. They make noise like.
I know they're like
Bronny.
neat birds. They're big birds and they're neat to look at. But 3,200. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So this occurred at the Fins and Feathers Paws and Claws inside the Quaker Farmers Market. Again, this was reported by the Morning Call. It was reported the theft of a sulfur-crested cockatoo. Again, worth $3,200. The white bird was not recovered Saturday, nearly 2 weeks after it went missing. And the business is actually offering a $500 reward to anyone with information leading to the bird's safe return and the arrest of her captor. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a slight problem with the reward. I don't feel like the ratio. Not that it should be 3,200, but I feel like you can offer a little more if it's that much. Like, you feel like 500, the ratio is a little too off on that.
Yeah, and also too, I'm reading from a story from the owner of the Fins, Feathers, Paws, and Claws. God, that's a long name for a
that is quite a
pet
name.
Story.
Yeah.
The owner, Tom, is devastated because they're very concerned about the well-being of this animal, as all of our birds are on a very specialized diet and require specific care. So here's my thing. I get it when you go to like a shelter, which to me, guys, you should go to a shelter rather than a store to buy or purchase or adopt, I should say.
I agree.
Your next best friend, whether it's a cockatoo or a dog. But if you're on this really strict diet, do you think they really, transpire the diet to those that will be managing it and being responsible for this cockatoo? Like, I'm a little confused. Like, it seems like a lot of work for somebody to say, okay, well, you got to do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then you got to do this on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, you don't let it eat. I'm just kidding.
Well, I think they expect the person that's going to buy it, you're going to sit down with them and be like, hey, this is its feeding schedule. This is what it eats. Like, they're not just going to sell the cockatoo to anyone, especially they're the ones that kind of raised it and all that stuff.
But do you think someone's going to follow it, though? Like, that's kind of like my big like, I feel like it's just we want our cockatoo back. And, like, of course, it's valued at $3,200, but I don't know, $3,200 is a little bit expensive.
I don't know. I feel like that's with any pet. Like, if you sell any pet, you have to hope and expect that the owners are going to take care of it well. Also, my biggest problem with this whole thing, they didn't name the damn cockatoo. How do you not name a pet and you've had it for 2 years? That's bullshit.
So I Googled the price of a cockatoo in case, for our little feathered friends out there listening to our podcast. The cost of an umbrella cockatoo varies from $1,000 to $3,000.
Okay.
The cost of a cockatoo varies on the basis of the species and color. Though the average price varies between $500 and $1,200. And again, I think this was a white.
I saw a picture, but I didn't know if that was the picture of the actual cockatoo.
I don't know why my Google just went off, but
I
was like, what is that? Did you hear what she was asking, or
no? What did she say?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I feel like, yes, you should feel very concerned about when a pet is stolen from your store, but I feel like it is a little bit of an overreaction, if you ask me.
I don't think it's overreaction at all. I think if it's worth $300 or $3,000, you don't want the pet. You don't want anything stolen from your store in general, let alone a pet, let alone an exotic bird. Yeah. Also, PSA. I was going to make a cockatoo joke. I was trying to find one. Don't Google cockatoo jokes because you're not going to find one that's appropriate for the Funny Business Podcast.
Really?
I was like, there's got to be some cockatoo joke out there. What you imagine a cockatoo joke would be, yeah, that's what they are. There's no good one out there.
So it's a peen joke.
Yes.
A bunch of peen jokes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very sexual.
We will not stoop down to that type of comedy here.
No.
Well, speaking of comedy, I guess we'll talk about our next topic. Hopefully the cockatoo is found. If we have any follow-up, we will mention it on our Funny
It's also been
podcast.
like 2 weeks.
Yes.
That doesn't seem like they're going to have a lot of success with that. I
scary.
Hope they do, but
it's a little scary. Anyway, speaking of comedy, our next topic to discuss today is talking about the good old Brazil, and specifically talking about politics. Remember last week, Matt, we were talking about, let's not talk about politics. Well, here we are again.
This is weirder than the Pence fly situation, if anyone thought that was possible. So
this comes from Reuters. So the thing about Reuters is a news outlet. Reuters is considered the most unbiased and most centered news of any type of news station per se.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Believe it or not, there's like charts that you can look at, and Reuters is like right around the center in between the Associated Press, ABC, NBC, like all those things. Like they're certainly in the green per se. So I believed it because it's from Reuters.
Okay.
It's not like it's Wikipedia or Fox News or anything like that. But a Brazilian senator, Chico Rodriguez, was caught in a police raid with money hidden between his butt cheeks. It was an issue investigating a misuse of COVID-19 response funding. So really just really crappy situation there, Matt.
Yeah, he's got stuck in a bad place right there.
Stuck in a bad place.
Yeah, stuck in a bad place. Backs up against the wall. So he had to know this raid was coming, right?
I don't know, because it's kind of like SWAT raids. Like SWAT doesn't tell
Right.
you, hey, knock, knock. Like we're SWAT. We're just going to like barge your door open or something like that.
Right.
Or even the FBI.
But why would he have the money stuffed between his butt cheeks if he didn't know something like this was coming? Like, did he just run out of toilet paper and like, oh, I didn't get it all out?
I mean, let's put it this. I mean, darn it, you didn't watch the interview yet. I'm so upset. I cannot make the comparison about the interview. But I feel like,
After we said we're not going to make the cockatoo jokes.
Right. Here we are making about crappy butt jokes. But as far as like the raid happening, like police kick in or they open up and then maybe he just has the money and just is like, I don't know where to put it. And like, obviously if you put it in your pocket, they're going to find it very easily. And
Right.
then the only way to do it is just put it between your butt cheeks.
Couldn't have been that much though, because like, if it was a thick stack, like, might not stay between your butt cheeks unless you have your butt cheeks clenched.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the amount. They haven't said it.
Yeah, I didn't see an amount yet either.
Mm-hmm. So
very shady.
Yeah. Federal police declined to comment, citing the confidentiality of the investigation. The police said they had carried out raids as part of the investigation into the possible misuse of congressional funding directed to the health secretary of Roraima to pay for the COVID-19 response. I think, Matt, to me is okay. So I'm looking here. So the Brazilian dollar, I'm not even going to say what it is. $1 equals about 5.6. So maybe to us it may seem not like a lot, but to Brazil,
hold on. $1 Brazilian is
No.
5.6 US dollars.
No, $1 is 5.6 Brazilian dollars. So actually, we're higher. Math.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that maybe it is more than what we think. That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, yeah.
Again, he had it like they obviously did the raid for a reason, but there's no way he didn't do something shady if he hid the money in his butt crack. Like that's just not possible. Like he definitely is up to something. Because why would you hide the money in your butt crack?
Yeah, I don't.
Like if you didn't do anything wrong, there's no reason to hide the money. So let him find it.
Right. I think for us, yeah, it's certainly a little sketchy. Like I feel like anything with corruption, like there's always some type of like rug that's being put over top of it, swept under the rug. But I don't see why this is a possibility of see, this is why this story gets so like, is it true? Is it not true? But at the same time, it was from a reliable source, and it also had a very distinguished report of found like, as far as the people finding it down his pants, and
I would also love to know the explanation they gave when the cops were like, "So what's this money doing in your ass?" And he's like, like what are you saying in that situation?
Gambling.
There's no but there's no good explanation why you're keeping money in between your butt cheeks.
No,
There's
really
nothing.
isn't.
Unless you're that rich that like you wipe your own ass with money, which maybe he was.
Maybe he was. I mean, hey, the Brazilian dollar is not as expensive as an American dollar, so
True.
we're kind of down that rabbit hole here. But Matt, I feel like to me that's enough talking about this story. To me, I felt like it was very interesting to talk about, but I feel like we've just come to a conclusion. It's just like, what?
Again, 2020, just the hits keep coming.
Just keep throwing down these topics, and we will be here for the Funny Business Podcast to
Absolutely
report on it. So on to the final topic for today. Now, Matt, it is time for another trivia game.
All
now,
right.
As far as this game itself, Matt, you know me in the past. I've done news a little bit. I worked in a news station a little bit.
Yep.
I feel like I'm always on this cycle of whatever topic we talk about. It's always within the news cycle. So, Matt, you are getting quizzed today. So
is it on Taylor Swift?
It is not on Taylor Swift.
Damn it.
So,
right.
Can you guess on what I want to quiz you on, per se?
It's something in the news.
Something in the news.
It's not going to be about the election.
It is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Specifically, Matt, a U.S. citizenship test.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Uh-oh.
So I took it
Hold on,
myself.
if I lose this, do I lose my U.S. citizenship?
No.
Okay, good.
We really shouldn't be making fun of this because there are people that seriously try
Yes.
to gain their citizenship. But I think
Yes.
as it's comical for the fact that, like, us as citizens, let's see if we can do a citizenship test.
Yeah, I mean, I sent you that video, I think, on Twitter the other day of a chick who saw a picture of Charlie D'Amelio and was like, oh, that's Charlie D'Amelio. And then they showed her a picture of Abraham Lincoln. She's like, I don't know who that is. It's like, yikes, what the hell are we doing here?
And then, of course, there was a duet that happened. It's like, why couldn't they know President Barack Obama?
Yes,
And I'm like,
yes.
oh, my God.
Just went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, so there are 100 possible questions on the civics test that applicants must pass in order to become a U.S. citizen.
Pass.
During the naturalization interview, they are asked 10 of these questions and must answer at least 6 correctly.
Okay, so I only need to get a 60.
So below are 20 questions from the test. You must answer 12 correctly.
Jeez, all right.
Good luck, Matt. Any questions before we start? It is multiple choice, so you kind of get a little bit of a
That's even
leeway.
No, I just hope I can remember all my U.S. history.
Yes.
I feel like I know a little bit, but I haven't used U.S. history in, like, I don't know, 4 years, so I may have lost some.
So to give you a little bit of a heads up, some of it is on history, some of it is on civics and government.
Okay.
So a couple things are involved with government and civics. Other times you are right. It is based on history of the United States. So, question 1, my friend. Let's get started. What is the supreme law of the land? The Supreme Court, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, or the Declaration of Independence?
Supreme.
Your face. I've known Matt for about 6 years now, and I know that face where you're like, what?
Supreme law of the land.
Correct.
Can you say the last option? So Supreme Court, Constitution, Bill of Rights.
The Declaration of Independence.
It's not the law. Okay, so it's the law.
Correct.
So the Supreme Court would not be the law because I don't know.
I'll give you the Supreme Court is not.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You're on the
I
right
am
track.
going to say the Constitution, final answer.
You are correct. It is the Constitution.
Yes, okay, that's what I thought. That's what I thought from the top. All right.
Yes, from the top.
Okay.
Make it pop.
Make it drop. That's some wings and pizza.
Pizza. Worship and pray. I was going to try to make an American joke, but that didn't work out well.
Nope.
All right. What are the first 3 words of the Constitution?
I know this.
We hold these in order to, Congress shall make, or we the people.
We the people, final answer.
That is correct. It is we the
That
people.
is easiest. Too easy.
All right. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Due process, bear arms, press, speedy public trial.
Press, final answer.
You are correct, my friend. What's the First Amendment?
Speech,
Yeah, freedom of speech.
Yes.
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought there was like 3 categories of it. But
freedom of speech, press, and religion, and right to protest.
Something like that.
Something like that. Here I am talking about
I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah. All right, here we go. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
Oh, shit.
10, 18, 27, or 29?
It's not 10. I don't think it's 18.
Although, what is 10?
Pass.
It's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, the Bill of Rights. I'm going to say 27, final answer.
You are correct. It's 27.
Yes,
All right, Matt, this is where you might trip up here.
Uh-oh.
The House of Representatives has how many voting members? 100, 270, 435, or 538?
House of Representatives. So I think the Senate is the one that has 100. Can you say the other 3 options?
Yep. 270, 435, or 538?
I'm going to say 270, final answer.
You are incorrect. It is 435.
Yeah, I was going to say that one too.
Okay. Next one. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Secretary of State, President pro tempore of the Senate, Secretary of Defense, or Speaker of the House?
Damn, I used to watch a show on ABC.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
No. It was a newer show. I don't know if it's still on. It was about this guy that like there was an explosion during like a White House press conference and like the president and vice president died and then he became president. I just don't remember what his title was. Can I hear the options again?
Yep. Secretary of State, President pro tempore of the Senate, Secretary of Defense, or Speaker of the House?
I'm going to say B, final answer.
President pro tempore of the Senate?
Correct.
You are incorrect. It is Speaker
Is
of
it
the House.
Speaker of the House?
Yep.
Yeah. Should know that.
All right.
My 4 for 6?
I think so.
This is question 7, right?
Yes. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? Clarence Thomas, John Roberts, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, rest her soul, John Paul Stevens.
I only know RPG. D, final answer.
John Paul?
Yep.
It's Chief Justice John Roberts.
I couldn't tell you who those people were.
All right. Which power belongs to the states and not to the federal government?
Okay.
Provide schooling and education, to print money, to create an army, to make treaties.
School and education, final answer.
You are correct.
That was easy.
All right, next one. Oh, so we talked about the Speaker of the House.
Oh, no.
What is the name of the current Speaker of the House? Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, or Lindsey Graham?
Nancy Pelosi, final answer.
Okay, good. I was like, I hope he gets this one.
That one is pretty easy.
All right. Which is a right only for citizens of the United States? Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to petition the government, or vote in the federal election?
Vote in a federal election, final answer.
You got it.
Okay. I'm on a roll. 3 in a row.
When is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms? January 1st, April 15th, August 30th, or December 31st?
All right, so I know tax day is April 15th. However, people don't know this. You can get an extension
Yes.
to October 15th.
This is not no extension. When is the first deadline?
So April 15th, final answer.
Okay. It's like,
Okay.
Matt, you do not change your mind there.
No, I was, because there's another podcast that I listen to, and they always talk about how August or October 15th is tax day for them because they all extend their tax deadline. All right, so I'm up to 8.
Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? John Adams, James Madison, John Jay, or Thomas Jefferson?
Thomas Jefferson, final answer.
You are correct.
All right, cool.
I got that one wrong. I thought it was John Adams. Which was not one of the 13 original states? Georgia, Rhode Island, Florida, or New Jersey?
Florida, final answer.
You are correct.
I'm up to 10. I need 2 more.
Who is the father of our country? Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Alexander Hamilton, or George Washington?
George Washington, final answer.
You are correct.
Oh, what question are we on?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You'll get.
I
The
need
results
one more.
later.
I'm at 11.
You'll get the results later.
I'm at 11.
Which of these wars was not fought by the U.S. in the 1900s? The Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Spanish-American War, or World War I?
Spanish-American War, final answer.
You are correct.
Bang.
Who was the president during the Great Depression and World War II? Teddy Roosevelt, Woodrow Wilson, Herbert Hoover, or Dwight D. Eisenhower?
Roosevelt, final answer.
You are correct.
Oh, okay.
Which country did the U.S. not fight against in World War II? Japan, Russia, Germany, or Italy?
Italy, final answer.
It was Russia.
Oh.
I picked Italy myself.
Yeah. Interesting.
Which of these states borders Canada? A. Vermont, Wisconsin, Wyoming, or Massachusetts?
Which of these states does border Canada?
Which of these states borders Canada? Yes.
Wisconsin, final answer.
You are incorrect. It's Vermont.
Wisconsin absolutely borders Canada. Absolutely, Wisconsin borders Canada. Vermont does
state
too.
borders
What
Canada?
Massachusetts does not.
Vermont is totally on the opposite side of New York.
No, Vermont's top right of the U.S. No, Vermont doesn't border Canada. It's Wisconsin.
Map.
Wisconsin, 100%
No,
borders Canada.
I want to say you are right.
Massachusetts
I don't know
does
why.
not. Wyoming does not.
Actually, Matt, Wisconsin. Oh, Vermont does. Oh, by a
Michigan's
slight
right above
hair.
Wisconsin.
Oh my God.
Michigan's above Wisconsin. That's bullshit. I mean, let's be real. People who live in Canada, people who live in Wisconsin, and people who live in Minnesota, they're all the same. They are all the same people. They just live in different countries or states.
That's awful. We were like, wait, what? What? We just failed our citizenship test.
Here's a fun story. One time in I think it was 6th grade.
Yeah.
We had to do a test. We had a map.
Mm-hmm.
We had to name all the abbreviations of every state.
Oh, yeah, I remember
I got
that.
a 99 because I did Texas, and I put the top line half an inch. It wasn't a T like this.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, I'm doing the T sign. T like this. It was a T like this, and I got half a point.
Because it wasn't capitalized.
Because it wasn't capitalized.
That's so stupid.
Livid.
What grade was this?
6th grade.
Oh my God, I would be throwing hands.
I wanted, yeah.
Miss Teacher.
Anyway, Miss
All right.
Keisha, Miss Keisha.
Miss Keisha. What is the name of the national anthem? My Country, 'Tis of Thee, Battle Hymn of the Republic.
Sounds like a Star Wars song.
I was going to say the Imperial March, but the Star Spangled Banner or Party in the USA.
Star Spangled Banner, final answer.
I'm gonna take points off if you don't say it correctly. I'm kidding. Yeah, you are correct. So
Too
put
easy.
my hands up, play my song. The
Could you
butterflies
imagine
fly
if
away.
Miley Cyrus actually had the national song of the national? Oh my
That'd
god,
be insane. All right, for all my postal workers out there, Mama, which is not a national U.S. holiday? New Year's Day, Columbus Day, Labor Day, or Easter?
All right, first of all, it's not Columbus Day anymore. It's Indigenous Peoples Day. I'd just like to point that out.
I didn't write this quiz.
I think they all are. New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
New Year's Day.
I think New Year's Day is. Indigenous Peoples Day, I believe it still is. Labor Day, I thought was.
This is your last
And-
question, by the way.
I'm going to say Easter, final answer.
You are correct. It's
Yeah.
Easter.
Okay. That makes sense because yes. All right. That was actually easy. I shouldn't have doubted myself.
Matt, you got a 15 out of 20 correct.
Oh,
so
look at me.
You technically passed.
Nice.
You scored 60%. You scored better than 66% of the quiz takers.
It's a little frightening. I would like to know what percent actually got a 12 or better.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I'm still pissed about the Wisconsin question.
Vermont, you mean?
Well, I'm saying Wisconsin.
I mean,
because Michigan barely covers it at the top.
Right, but
Yeah,
Wisconsin does not touch it. Like,
because Michigan does.
Right.
Minnesota does. Minnesota touches Canada.
Where do you get tiny soda from? Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, Matt, congratulations on passing yet another test. Hopefully, I don't have any tests in the next segment of our Funny Business podcast, which is our sports topics. You don't want to go away, my friends. Matt, I got to tell you, I am so happy we're continuing to make more episodes for our podcast.
You're so right, Mike. I really am enjoying hearing how awesome each episode is every week from everyone. It's so easy to do.
It is so easy. And we have Anchor, our sponsor for this episode, to thank for. Anchor is free to anyone that wants to start a podcast. It's easy for beginners with the creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also helps distribute our podcasts so our listeners can tune in to their platform of choice, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more.
And Mike, I got to tell you, I was skeptical before, but we actually are making a profit off this podcast. We are still a small podcast, but it's nice to see the progress we have made with each episode with that money.
Yes, we are making it rain. Kind of. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's anchor.fm.
And who knows, you may start a podcast with your best friend.
That's right. Roommates for life. Hey guys, it's Mike here, and on behalf of the Funny Business Podcast, we'd like to ask, are you registered to vote? Headcount is a nonpartisan organization that works with the music and entertainment industry to get fans to vote. To update or check your voter registration status, go to headcount.org, where you'll find all the information you need to be ready for Election Day. Matt and I usually talk about it off the podcast as far as our future endeavors, whether that's renting a house or, relationship advice, but also to our own civic duty of voting. Register to vote again at headcount.org.
Okay, let's slide into the sports segments for today. We're going to start off for 3 quick ones. We have Who Tweeted. We have an all-time quote by Steelers coach Mike Tomlin. And then I'm going to give my Thursday night predictions. So, Mike, who tweeted? This is a former football player.
Okay. Great.
You may have seen this. This was circling around the internet. It's pretty interesting. Here's the tweet. Would you rather be respected or liked? Imagine if we didn't have a like button, but instead we had respect buttons. Would you rather have 110 likes or 34 respects? Who tweeted? All-time tweet.
Can I buy a is he a quarterback?
He is.
Okay, good. All right.
Former quarterback.
Is it Eli Manning?
It is not. I will give you one more hint.
Okay.
He is a wannabe baseball player.
Tim Tebow.
It is Tim Tebow. This was an all. Could you, first of all, who would want a respect button on Twitter?
I mean, Facebook created the care button, which I honestly don't mind, but a respect button.
That doesn't fit Twitter.
Right. You just put a nice big respect in the bottom right-hand corner instead of the hearts.
You get a notification.
Matt respected
Matt
your
Summers
tweet.
respects you. That's just the stupidest. This is such a Tim Tebow quote, though. You couldn't draw up a better quote or tweet for Tim Tebow to have. He almost got ratioed, too. He had 8,000 retweets and 2,000 replies.
Wow.
So he almost got ratioed big time.
Yeah, that's big time.
Real quick, Mike Tomlin, who is a longtime Steelers head coach, he's been known for his quotes that just make no sense or it's just out there. So Steelers are 5-0. They lost their star linebacker Devin Bush to a torn ACL this season, and they really have like no one good else at linebacker to replace him. So a reporter asked him today, the season impact that's going to have addressing the linebacker, and if they have any future plans of bringing in a linebacker. In response, Tomlin said, "quote I can't see past lunch." This is
honestly,
all-time quote. Go ahead.
Honestly, I feel like I can relate to a degree. Like poor my sweet girlfriend Jenna. Like we try to make plans like at least the weekend, but then if I talk anything past the weekend, she's like, I can't think about that right now. So like maybe Mike just needs to eat lunch and then he can find like maybe he's hangry. Like we don't know.
That's true, but that's different. You're talking about working outside of work. They're asking him about something from work, and he's like, I can't see past lunch. All-time Mike Tomlin quote, total football guy quote, like, I'll deal with it when I have to deal with it. I love Mike Tomlin.
That was a good quote.
Before we get on to the actual segments, my Thursday night football prediction, because we have a football topic coming up. I'm 0-2 in the last 2 weeks.
Oh, great.
This week we have the Giants and the Eagles. Again, we're not football shaming. We're glad we have football. That being said, these teams stink. But I actually think the Eagles are better. And for all you Eagles fans out there, I think you're going to win the division because this division is just god-awful.
Yeah, but one particular Eagle fan sucks. So
yeah, he does. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes. Also, shout out to the Eagles because they had their first home game with fans this year. They had 5,000, and they still found a way to get in a fight. Philly fans are back, baby.
Yeah,
Eagles 21, Giants 13. Moving on to our first actual segment for today. It is a football segment. It is about college football. So a lot of college football programs are either letting in some fans, but not full capacity. And the Florida head football coach, Dan Mullen, he ate his words this past week. So 2 weeks ago, it was Florida at Texas A&M. Texas A&M is known for having a great 12th man and a great crowd atmosphere. And I'm not going to say helped them win, but Texas A&M won the game at home against Florida. And Florida head coach Dan Mullen was not happy and pleaded for the athletic department to let 100% capacity at their next game, would have been this past Saturday.
Yikes.
Against LSU.
Oh, boy.
The team ended up having a COVID outbreak, and the game got canceled. Dan Mullen quickly backtracked on his statement. Well, at first his quote was to pack the swamp, like they call their home arena the swamp because they're in Florida. And then his quote was, whatever our local health officials come out and say, this is the number of people that we're going to allow at the game, then I want to encourage those people to come in. So he quickly realized, he messed up big time.
He messed up Ron. I will stick with my word about higher ed sports, especially no matter if you're D3 or D1. There is a ego that is happening amongst everyone, no matter what division of sport you are in. There is an ego that's going around that people are like, well, we're sports, we can do whatever we want. Well, COVID does not freaking care anyone, so
COVID is pretty much undefeated except for the NBA and the NHL.
Right. So it's just.
No, go ahead.
I find this upsetting because there's still stupid stuff going around, and I'm really surprised that colleges and universities are still allowing instances to happen like this one.
SEC schools in general seem like they have like twice as many fans, and like the students don't wear masks and stuff. But it's also funny because I don't know if you saw this story last year. Dan Mullen's wife has been known to kiss players before big games or after big games as like a good luck congratulations.
Like on the lips?
I don't know.
Like
but it's
Tom
just
Brady?
funny that like Dan Mullen's talking about this, and then they have a COVID outbreak, and then everyone was like, oh, I bet his wife gave all the players COVID. It's just the whole story of like, it's just the combination of stuff that just Dan Mullen, you had to know this was going to come back and bite you in the butt.
Yeah.
Especially LSU, the team they played, had a COVID outbreak before the season started. And like we said, COVID, other than the NHL and the NBA, is undefeated. And if you're going to have fans there, maybe not let everybody in right now. Probably not the best idea.
No. probably a good idea.
Let's move on to the NBA. So as the NBA season is done, however, we do have our best sports topics on the NBA because that's both of our common interest. So we're going to find a way to talk about the NBA. And while it's the off season, there's going to be weird stories. This is one of those weird stories. So if you were living under a rock, LeBron James won the NBA Finals. His son Bronny made the news about a month ago, I'd say, because he was on his Instagram Live smoking a dope. So he's smoking the weed, as Stephen A. Smith would call it. He's on the weed.
Smoking the weed. Stay off the weed.
And it was funny because everyone's making jokes like, oh, just wait till LeBron comes home and he's going to get in trouble. And LeBron made a tweet like after that whole instance that was kind of like shady, like we didn't know what was going on. Well, LeBron came home and Bronny is a big streamer. He's probably gonna have a basketball career, but he likes to stream on the side.
Nice little extra thing to do. While
yeah, I mean,
Odell
Beckham Jr. streams. A lot of guys stream. So Bronny was grounded from an esports Call of Duty tournament. Who had this on their 2020 bingo card? That's what I want to know. What are your thoughts on this? I have some thoughts that you're probably not going to like, but go ahead.
Well, oddly enough, Matt, what was it? Yes, so Monday of this week, we saw Bronny actually in an Among Us tournament with some of our favorite players like Courage JD. And it was funny because we were like, is that Bronny? And I was like, yeah, it's Bronny. Like, it's Bronny, like LeBron James' son. And it was funny because one of them, I think his name was 5UP, was calling Bronny Bruni. And he said it like a couple times, and like chat was just going at him as far as that situation. But this situation as a whole, LeBron grounds Bronny from an esports tournament. I think I kept asking you like a couple questions. First of all, probably got it from J.R. Smith. We all know that for a fact.
Yep. Oh, 110%.
110%.
Or Deion Waiters, because he did take that edible earlier in the season when he was on the Heat. Attack. So...
but as far as, so I kept asking questions. I'm like, how old's Bronny? Like, because...
Yeah, Bronny is, for all those who don't know, he is 16.
He is 16. So, of course, the legalization of marijuana, because California, I think they're located in California.
They are.
Like, they are. I mean, out of the many houses that probably LeBron owns. But...
we'll get to that.
So, I wasn't sure if he was in the California home, which then suscepted to, okay, if he's 18, then it's okay, but... that obviously didn't connect. As far as LeBron grounding, I feel like it was a smart choice just because, I mean, I don't know. I feel weird that like a player of a superstar of that caliber is like grounding his own son. Like, I don't know. I just find that really awkward, like kind of an Akko Taco type of deal. But I know like with LeBron, jumping on the LeBron train here, to kind of back him up, like LeBron has never had any issues whatsoever, like Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons, besides like the wine glass, but that's literally the only thing. Okay, let's not talk about the Kardashian.
During a game.
What is it? Kardashian and was it was it Embiid or was it Simmons?
What are you talking about?
The whole Kardashian, like one of the NBA players cheated on one of the Kardashians, and like they saw them together.
Different. LeBron James drank wine on the bench during a game.
On the bench?
Yes, he was on the bench drinking wine. That was the whole wine glass incident.
I thought that was him bringing the wine glass.
No.
Okay, listen.
He was on the bench.
When have we ever gone to a game and smuggled? When have we gone to the movies and ever smuggled candy or something like that?
But he's getting paid to sit on. That's his job. You don't drink on your job. I don't understand he wasn't playing.
Hey, drinking on the job.
No. If this was any other player in any other sport drinking on the bench during a game, it would be a big deal. Because it's LeBron and he was injured, people are giving him a pass. So now, I understand LeBron's of legal age, but that's I don't know. That doesn't sit right with me.
So what you're saying is that LeBron should be held accountable for his own actions, but yet is being hypocritical towards his son.
No, I just think it's funny that people are like making fun of Bronny for doing this, but what's the example LeBron's setting if he's drinking during his work hours on the bench?
Okay, all right, I can give you that one.
Yes. Also, LeBron, did you see his daughter had a birthday?
I did not. That's
I don't.
Zuri,
Yes.
I think is her name.
Did you see her present?
No, what'd she get?
She got a house.
What? How?
Not
wait.
like an actual house. It was like a little house in the backyard that she got to live in. But just think of this: you're Bronny, and you see your little sister gets a house, and you're like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna get something like this. I'm in trouble." Like the tweets of like Bronny realizing LeBron was coming home after Game 6 were hysterical. This whole thing again. I don't know. I LeBron.
If you're listening,
here's my last point. Last point. This is just not a notch against LeBron. People forget he said he does not want Bronny to live up to his name. He wants him to be his own person. After he named him LeBron James Jr. It's not like you named him Jack Johnson. You named him LeBron James Jr. That's all I'm going to say. Moving on to the second NBA topic we have for today. Mike, I have in the show notes, you're on the hot seat.
Apparently.
Do you know why you're on the hot seat?
I have no idea.
Do you have any guess
on
why you would be on the hot seat NBA related?
This feels like a magic show. Have we talked before you came up on stage? No, I have not, Matt. Okay. As far as me, probably for the hot seat, it would probably be related to the restart. Not the restart, but the season follow-up? No?
Nope.
Okay.
So you are...
Oh, is it the debate of LeBron, MJ?
No, it has nothing to do with LeBron. Nope, it has something to do with your hate against Mark Cuban.
Oh.
So Mark Cuban was in the news. So there's a former basketball player, Delonte West. Well, technically that is LeBron James related. If you get that reference, good for you. So Delonte West had passed with drug issues and alcohol abuse, and he was going down a bad path. And he used to play for the Dallas Mavericks and Mark Cuban. So Mark Cuban heard of this and offered his support for Delonte West. So he met West and his mother at a hotel, I believe, in Florida. And Mark Cuban actually helped Delonte West get into rehab. And Delonte West is doing very well. Mark Cuban's been updating his progress and all of that stuff. So, Mike, I am giving you the floor. Would you like to formally apologize to Mark Cuban himself? Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Stand back and stand by.
No. Disavow. Strike that from the record. Would you like to formally apologize to Mark Cuban?
Why would I? Okay, so here's my thing. As far as the apology, did Mark Cuban do a good thing? Absolutely. I can never say that was a bad thing that he did.
Okay, so how do you not like him anymore? How do you continue to still not like him?
Because I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I aspire, and I think we both aspire. We both aspire to be the best we can.
Okay.
You're smiling because it's like, well, Mike's going to somehow jump over this without actually admitting it.
I'm very intrigued to see where this goes.
So as far as aspiring, if y'all don't know, Mark Cuban is on Shark Tank, a huge entrepreneur, not only with, the Dallas Mavericks, but as the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, but also with so many other companies involved. And I think it's just his personality that I just cannot accept. Like, it's just the fact of his, like, cocky attitude that I see in videos and replays of everything that I've seen. Yes, is it a personality? Absolutely, because I think all of those people that are, with Mr. Wonderful, and A-Rod was on the show, apparently, at one point of Shark Tank, which that was quite the curveball, literally. I just don't, I like all the stuff that he's done as an entrepreneur. I just don't like his personality. There's just something about his personality that just feels like, I just take one notch above everybody else. Like, not saying I'm better than everybody, but there's just like, you know what? Like, it's cool. We're on the same plane, but I'm just one step above you. Like, and I just feel like that's him all the time. Like, I saw a video of a kid in, I forget, it was the away team jersey, that it wasn't a Dallas Mavericks jersey, and the kid was dabbing on Mark Cuban, like just throwing the dabs, and he's like talking crap, and then Mark Cuban decides to go out and do a handshake, and the kid goes up, he dabs.
That's funny.
And then of course, he's like at him and is like grabbing his shirt and it's like, I'm gonna rip this off of you, and I'm like, why are you doing
That's
this?
funny.
It's
He's
funny,
joking
but
with
like,
the kid. Now you hate fun.
perspective-wise, listen.
Now you hate fun.
I don't hate fun.
Well, apparently
I wouldn't be on this freaking podcast if I didn't hate fun.
You're the biggest Mark Cuban hater that I know.
No, I'm the biggest Draymond Green hater.
Haven't you seen him on TikTok with his daughter?
No, because I don't follow him.
I don't either, but his TikTok dances was fun. I have homework for you. There's another podcast, Part of My Take. They've interviewed Mark Cuban a bunch of times. Listen to his last interview. They just interviewed him last week. Your opinion will get changed.
You think I have time after doing this podcast?
Like a 50-minute interview. It's not that bad.
When am I having time to do that?
You have time.
I do not.
You hate Mark Cuban. Just admit it. Admit it right now. You hate Mark Cuban.
I dislike Mark Cuban's personality.
Okay. Loser. Moving on.
It's a truth.
Moving on. We have one final segment for today. It is called Hall of Fame or Not. So how this is going to go, I have a list of 10 NBA resumes in front of me. If we don't do all 10, we'll do some next week.
Can I see the references?
No. So how this is going to work is I have a list of their stats, career stats and achievements. I will list them. Mike, you will tell me based on those stats and achievements if he is a Hall of Famer. After your answer, I will give you who the player is.
Okay.
All right. First one. He's a 2-time NBA champion, 11-time All-Star. He was an All-NBA second team once, first team NBA All-Rookie, and a gold medalist. Because the Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame is the career resume. Hall of Famer or not?
Not a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Can I guess? Can I try to guess?
Yep.
He's a gold medalist, so he's probably... Is it?
Now, not all these...
2-time NBA champion?
2-time NBA champion, 11-time All-Star.
No MVPs.
No MVPs.
That is... Is it Dirk? No, it's not Dirk. It's Tim Duncan.
No. You said not a Hall of Famer?
Not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. Chris Bosh. Now, I think Bosh might get in because he's got a lot of all-time stats with the Raptors.
Yeah.
All right. This next one, I think, is very easy. At first, I was like, oh, that'll be an interesting resume. And then the resume is like, okay. So here we go. He's never played in an NBA Finals. 10-time All-Star. He made All-NBA first team 4 times, second team 4 times, third team once. He made All-NBA defensive first team 7 times. Rookie of the Year. Led the league in assists 4 times. Led the league in steals 6 times. 2-time gold medalist.
This is Chris Paul.
This is Chris Paul. 7th all-time in assists, 7th all-time in steals. Is he a Hall of Famer?
I hate it because I know who it is.
Yes.
I feel like he's well-deserving of a Hall of Fame, but based on those stats, no.
Oh, okay. I think he's definitely getting in. Mm-hmm. Next one's interesting. Okay.
I can't believe I got that one.
That was impressive. 1-time NBA champion. 8-time All-Star. He made the All-NBA first team 5 times. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. 4-time All-Defensive first team. Led the league in rebounding 5 times and blocks twice. Gold medalist and 14th all-time in rebounds. Hall of Famer or not?
Is this Dirk?
Hall of Famer or not?
No.
Dwight Howard. But, I mean, 3-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year. Interesting.
Right.
And he did win if you look at the stats, I think Dwight Howard is. If you look at the name, I don't think he is.
No.
Moving on.
Because then even looking at it, like his one NBA champion is with the Lakers.
It is, but I mean, if you look at the stats, Barkley never won NBA Finals. He's in the Hall of Fame. They got kind of similar. I mean, Barkley has an MVP.
He's on TNT anyway, so it's
yes.
Like
Next one. How we do? We might do like 2 more.
Okay. We can do a couple more.
Okay. Whatever. We'll just go do them all. Never played in NBA Finals. 10-time All-Star. 2-time All-NBA second team. He made 13 4 times. 1-time scoring champion. I'm not done. NCAA champion and Final Four MVP. 3-time gold medalist. 15th all-time in points. Hall of Famer or not?
15 points Hall of Fame.
15th all-time in points. No.
Is it Steve
Carmelo.
Nash? Carmelo. Oh.
Yeah. I think based on his college career, that's going to help him get in.
Yeah.
Unless he can somehow win a bogus ring somehow.
A bogus
maybe
ring.
the Blazers. All right. This next one is a very interesting case.
Okay.
He has never won an NBA Finals, but he's played in one. 8-time All-Star. He made the All-NBA second team once and the third team once. NBA Rookie of the Year. Gold medalist. 19th all-time in points. 43rd all-time in steals. And 6th all-time in made threes. Hall of Famer or not? Would like to point out you've said no in every single.
I'm very picky. Right, I'm very, very picky.
This is a tough one. Hall of Famer or not? No.
Nope.
Vince Carter.
Yeah, it's Vince Carter.
I think that's an interesting case. I think he's kind of like Tracy McGrady, who also did get in.
Right.
But I think Vince Carter will get in. He's also, I sort of put that in there, first player to play in 4 different decades.
Then it would have given that obviously would have given
that would have given it away, yes. This next guy has a lot of stats.
Okay.
I personally do not think he is a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He's never won an NBA Finals. He's played it in it once. He's an MVP. 9-time All-Star. He made All-NBA first team twice, second team 5 times, third team twice. Led the league in scoring twice and in assists twice. NBA All-Rookie first team. Gold medalist. 43rd all-time in points. 42nd all-time in steals. 14th all-time in assists. Hall of Famer or not?
See, that I was going to say this is Derrick Rose, but
it is not.
It's not. Then
Hall of Famer or not?
No, I don't believe that.
Russell Westbrook.
He's got to win. He's got to win.
I agree. If he wins a championship, because based on those stats, I mean, anyone with those stats would be in.
Right.
All right, this next guy has not.
Also, too, on top of that, he did have one hell of a season, averaging a triple-double.
He did. And I think he actually did it twice.
Yeah.
But they haven't really turned out to anything. All right, this next guy has not played in a while. But he's got an interesting case.
Okay.
He's an NBA champion once. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. 4-time All-Star. As a burp. 3-time All-NBA second team. Made the third team twice. 5-time All-NBA defensive first team. Led the league in rebounding twice and in blocks once. Now he is 13th all-time in blocks and 33rd all-time in rebounds. Hall of Famer or not?
No.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
If he hasn't gotten in yet, I don't think he will. You've also said no to every single person.
Yeah.
You're very tough.
I'm very
interested to see. I think this next one might be a yes.
Okay.
But the name might not be a yes.
Okay.
4-time NBA champion, Finals MVP once, 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA second team, made the third team once, NBA All-Rookie first team, 52nd all-time in points, 19th all-time in assists. Hall of Famer or not?
Is he's still playing?
He's not.
He's going to get the Okay, I'm going to say yes, but it's not going to be a unanimous vote. Like, it's not going to be, like, top 2 votes. Like, he's going to get...
It is Tony Parker.
Yeah, he's going to get, like,
I don't know. Like, if you hear the name Tony Parker, do you think NBA Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Maybe the Finals MVP gets it to him. I don't know. I think we only have 3 left.
Go for it.
2 left. All right. Next guy, again, a lot of stats. I personally don't think so. He's never won an NBA Finals. He's played in it once. MVP, 8-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA first team, made the third team once. He did win the 6th Man of the Year award once. 3-time scoring champion, led the league in assists once. Gold medalist, and he's 36th all-time in points. Hall of Famer or not?
I'm going to say no.
James Harden.
No.
I think he's going to have to. Well,
he's got to win.
I think Harden has a better case than Westbrook at this point.
Yes, I will admit to that, but he still has to win a championship.
For sure. Now, this is the last one. The name, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but when I thought of this name, I was like, oh, let's just see what the resume says. The resume is pretty impressive. 2-time NBA champion, 6-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team and made the third team 3 times. I did not know this about him. He won Rookie of the Year. He is 38th all-time in points, 21st all-time in blocks, 28th all-time in rebounds, and a 2-time FIBA European Player of the Year. Hall of Famer or not?
How many NBA championships?
2.
Is this Manu?
It is not.
Oh, okay.
Hall of Famer or not?
I'm gonna say yes.
It is Pau Gasol.
Yeah. I feel like he's gonna be like Tony Parker, like have the
it's
ranking.
funny, like when I thought Pau Gasol, first of all, I didn't know he had those, like he was in top 25 of all those stats. I wouldn't think it, but the resume's pretty impressive.
I think he'll be, like I said, Tony. Like there'll be the featured ones.
Yes.
But then there'll be like the,
yes,
additional
and his European career will probably put him in as well.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we'll do that for baseball. How do you feel if we do that for baseball one day?
I'm ready for it.
You were very tough. I think
I'm
you said it once,
picky.
like twice. Yeah.
I'm very picky.
Yes, very picky. Chris Paul. So you really don't think Chris Paul's a Hall of Famer?
He has to win. Like
I don't know.
I think
7th all time in assists
Paul-
and 7th in steals.
Chris Paul will get in for that if he keeps climbing, and then 2 if they'll just talk about his service with the NBPA.
True.
Like,
Now, I do think one case to your point, he also never played in the conference finals.
see, and like
That's a good point. And Carmelo's only played in one conference finals.
there was the one time the
you're
Nuggets posted on their social media. It was kind of
Yes.
like, oh, like here's our what do you think is one of the
Yes.
best Nugget players? And then somebody literally the top tweet reply was like, of course you leave Melo out. Like,
Yeah, Melo
okay.
wasn't in the picture, and then the Trailblazers did one, and they put Carmelo on there, which was an epic troll.
That's amazing.
So that concludes the sports segments for today. To end the show, we are going to do a segment that we've done before. I believe we called it Spicy Take It in the past. We have a new name. It is now time for Say What? So, how Say What is going to go?
Do we have to say what all the time?
No, you don't have to.
Okay, all right.
So, again, so we've done this before once where we come up with our own unpopular opinions is what we're going to say. So, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I think I went first the last time, so I'm going to throw it to you.
Okay. So I'm going to save the one that I'm going to get very heated on for last. I'm going to go with this one first.
Okay.
I don't like self-checkout lines.
What? Why?
Okay. 2 reasons.
Okay.
1, they're taking away jobs. That's a fact. 2, they never work, and someone has to come with their key to the self-checkout line and do their thing or swipe their card. If it's not going to work, just have someone back there do it.
So you're saying, first of all, it's safe space, ladies and gentlemen.
Safe
but
space.
You're saying it's losing jobs, but yet somebody needs to come over, so that is a job.
Okay, but there's 4 self-checkout lines and 1 person manning all 4. If you need someone there to help you anyway, just hire 2 more cashiers and let them do their job. Like the lines are always suck. And then you swipe your item and it says put in bag. Then if you don't put it in the bag in time, it yells at you. Like they're so inconsistent. Like they're awful.
I am hoping to see a growth in I forget the word, self-automation. Because Amazon, have you seen what Amazon has done?
Can we talk about
with their
Jeff
stores?
Bezos?
Yeah, about his robot.
Jeff Bezos is planning to take over the world in front of our eyes.
I don't care.
He's becoming Dr. Octopus.
I'm okay with that. Did you see he did the evil
he's gonna
laugh?
kill us all.
No,
and then he's just gonna build his own village of robots. Jeff Bezos, we're all taking this as a joke. He's actually planning to take over the world. 110%.
So, backing up, Amazon stores, like Amazon Go stores, like they have cameras everywhere, and literally you pull something off the item, and then it adds to your cart, your electronic cart, and then you walk out, you pay
That's pretty cool.
through that. Like, that's top notch.
But back to self-checkout lines, they just suck. And there's this also. Why does Walmart have like 40 cashier aisles and only ever have like 8 open?
It's only for
annoying.
Black Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
Even that, there's still ones that are closed.
Yes, that's true. All right, what's your first one?
So this one's a little lame, but I feel like I have to say it based on my job. Facebook should be considered the king of social media.
I agree, but like the younger generation doesn't use it.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna use you as a younger generation just because. What? Give me a platform.
Twitter.
Okay, so what can you do on Twitter?
You can tweet, you can retweet, you can like, you can bookmark a tweet, you can send someone a direct message. You can use a hashtag and see other people in the conversation.
So that is pretty similar to what Facebook can do already.
Yeah, that's true.
You can like it, you can share it, retweet it is share, you can comment, you can reply.
Yes.
There's a little bit more. You can do more than 280 characters, which again is a conversation of like, okay, well, it is the point because Twitter's meant for short form content.
Correct.
Honestly, I agree with that. However, you can still do it with Facebook. You just have a little bit of mobility with it.
But how do I explain this? I'm trying to think of the right words. So there's definitely I know a lot of people my age and people younger that just don't use Facebook at all.
Agreed.
And they do use Instagram and Twitter. And now I feel like Facebook's demographic is a little older. Is that true?
In most cases, yes.
Okay. But those people also do use Instagram and Twitter. So what is Facebook going to do in like 20 years when people don't have Facebook accounts?
Because they will probably. This is my big take. Somebody.
Oh, I've heard
somebody
this. Yeah, they're going to overtake
Instagram,
and
Instagram will dissolve, and Facebook will be the only account that people can use.
Can you explain the new update where like you can message someone from Instagram on Instagram from Facebook?
Yeah, so it's very
and
similar.
Also, I accepted that today, and then it changed my Facebook profile picture somehow. I don't know how that happened.
So it's very similar to business accounts. So business accounts can already have access to both their Facebook and Instagram DMs. They probably just took that model and they put it in the just the personal profile. So in the sense of a business account, they can see who comments, see who DMs them on their Instagram from the Creator Studio, mind you. Within the Facebook page account. So they probably just took that same model and they just pushed it to the personal accounts. Because in most cases, somebody has had Facebook first and then they've gotten Instagram. So they probably saw those numbers and were like, well, why don't we just give them the opportunity to do that? So,
Also, we've talked about Jeff Bezos is building his army of robots. Mark Zuckerberg is a robot.
Maybe Mark is building the robots for Jeff, and then
could be. What if Jeff Bezos built Mark Zuckerberg?
Maybe.
And he's like his test robot. That'd be wild. All right.
I'm ready.
I warned
for
you before the show.
Oh God, God love you.
I'm hoping you don't have to censor anything, but I don't know where this is going to take me. I don't know if you know this about me. So. Shout out to my one group chat that I have with my friends. They helped me with some examples for this. I don't hate a lot of things in life. I hate with a passion Bath and Body Works.
I feel like I've known that about you.
I despise Bath and Body Works. Now let me try to collect my thoughts. I'm already can feel my heart rate.
Why?
So some of their smells are fine and scents are fine. Black Cherry Merlot, my favorite one. 95% of their damn products are frauds. So I texted my friends to give me some examples of some names of Bath and Body Works products. Beautiful Day. Can you smell a beautiful day?
You can.
Okay, but does the Beautiful Day smell the same to every single person? No, it doesn't. Okay, moving on. Moonlight Path. What the hell does the moonlight smell like? And you can't smell a path. So what the frick is it? In the Stars. We're not even. You're not smelling the stars. You're smelling in the stars. Are you saying we can smell space? Smell space? What? Endless Weekend. Now we can just smell days of the week.
I know smell. I know.
So we can just smell days of the week now. What is this? 1 in a million. I can't smell a number. What are we doing here? All of these smells, they either smell like vanilla or sugar or lavender. They're frauds. They're scamming you out of their money.
So have you smelled these things?
Yes, they don't. You can't.
Okay.
You can't smell an endless weekend.
Okay. Have you smelled the Endless Weekend?
I have.
Okay. So what does it smell like?
It just smells like all of the other scents. All of these beautiful day, moonlight path, in the stars, endless weekend, 1 in a million, sweater weather. I have one I'm saving for last. They have like all the same ingredients. They just change like one. They're all the same stuff. They're scamming you out of your money. I have one I've been saving. No, I have one more.
Okay.
My immortal enemy. Dancing waters. Water doesn't frickin' dance, and you can't smell it. No one can smell water. It does not exist.
So
what do you have right there?
I have teak wood.
Okay.
It smells like wood.
That's fine. Listen, I'm not saying all of their scents. Black cherry merlot is good. If it has like a peach, it smells like peach. If it smells like apple, it smells like apple. Teak wood smells like teak wood. You can't smell water. It's not a smell.
But can you taste water?
You can't smell water, and it doesn't dance. So who the frick is gonna buy dancing waters? They are scamming you out of your money, people. Wake up.
Are you okay? It's a safe space. Are you okay?
Literally, I saw some friends this weekend, and we were going to some outlets safely. We had masks on.
Don't tell me you went to Bath.
They went in Bath and Body Works. I got out of the car. I'm like, listen, guys, I'm gonna be angry. Like, just know, the whole time I'm in the store, I'm like, it smells like bullshit in here.
Smells like fraud.
I think I'm done.
You okay?
Oh, hold on. I just got another text. Magic in the air. So now we can smell magic, and we can smell it in the air. Yeah, magic up my ass. All right, I'm done. I'm sorry I cursed.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's okay, Matt. You know,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I feel like Stephen A. Go ahead, Max.
Go ahead. I think I said that to you when we were talking about the soccer and golf.
I actually feel my heart rate like pumping
okay.
up.
All right. Well, take a deep cut. I think this one will not get you heated. It will most certainly be an agreement. I went the relationship route. I am a firm believer that being attached to the hip is not cool.
Yeah. Retweet, brother. Retweet.
Okay, so here's the deal. For those who know me pretty well, yes, I am in a very happy, significant relationship with Jenna. And almost every weekend we see each other.
Yes.
Some people may say that is attached to the hip. I can say you don't know my life story. You do not know my day-to-day basis based on being in a relationship with Jenna.
Go off, King.
A little personal here. Jenna is super busy with her clinical. I do not hear Jenna until probably 9 o'clock at night every night. And that's not the fact that she just doesn't like me. She just cannot be at her phone and text me. In some instances, there's times when I'm not available. She's not calling me or texting me being like, what's happening? Are you okay? What are you doing? It's a trust. It's certainly a trust, but there comes a point in a time where, yes, in a relationship, you technically are attached to the hip, whether it's living together or, in some
legally
cases,
married.
Legally married.
There you go.
You are attached to the hip, but in some instances, I see so many relationships that do work, but there's one person that I know for a fact. I'm not saying there's any person out there that I know, but scientifically, I can make a prediction that at least one person in that relationship is not happy. Because let me take it from my instance. Jenna and I absolutely love each other to death. It comes in the instances where we don't have to be attached to the hip. I am going a little off technically, but let's take a look at this podcast on Tuesday. I have not had a text from Jenna being, are you okay? What's going on? Why aren't you talking to me? I have not had that because we're not attached to the hip. Again, more things based on the weekend itself. No one knows me on our relationship better than myself and Jenna. But on the weekend, Jenna is studying. I'm not sitting there being like, why don't you love me? Like,
Hold me and tell me I'm pretty.
Hold me and tell me I'm pretty. No, just do your thing. You let their one person do the thing, and you let the other person do the thing. Like, you don't have to be together 25/8, and I've used that phrase before. 24/7, but it's 25/8 because you're literally attached to the freaking hip.
Yeah. For legal purposes, I'm just gonna say retweet.
I mean,
no, I think you agree. I think you're right. You know, it comes to a point where if you're constantly talking to each other and constantly with each other, and you never have time apart, someone at some point's gonna get.
And I'd be more than happy. Listen, I'd be more than happy somebody shoot me a DM and say you're ridiculous, because I can probably find something that you don't like about being attached to the hip.
Right. And in some cases, people like being attached at the hip. It comes to someone's preference. And everyone has different things of what they want out of a relationship, and when they want a relationship, and who they want to be in a relationship with. Like, if someone's happy, let them be happy. Whether they're with each other all the time or if they're not, like, let someone live their life.
Matt, I do have to say that based on the relationship that Jenna and I have, I said this to her when I was driving the one day. I said, you know what? Because I don't know what I think we were talking about the podcast.
Right.
I was like, I am so happy I have Matt as a friend, because let's face it, if I wipe that fucking tear away. Oh man, part of my language.
Always.
But like, if I didn't have that balance, I wouldn't be doing a podcast. I wouldn't be live streaming with you. I wouldn't be playing Fortnite, Rocket League, Among Us. I wouldn't have a life. I wouldn't be working to my fullest ability. Again, I'm totally fine with somebody being attached to the hip, but I am 90-80% sure that somebody, at least something they don't like about being attached to the hip.
Yeah, probably true. And maybe there's some people that don't. But, you know, again, it's just personal preference. My heart rate is still up from Bath and Body Works.
Let's conclude it here, ladies and gentlemen, because either Matt's going to keep talking about how water smells, or I'm going to keep talking about relationship advice. But if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on our social media. Again, Funny Business Entertainment on Facebook, Instagram, and Funny Business EN on Twitter. You can find all these YouTube episodes. You can find all these episodes on YouTube. Part of my Freudian slip. As far as every episode every Friday. If you are on Apple Podcasts, make sure you rate us 5 stars. We have 4 reviews already with a 5-star rating, so hot diggity to that. And share it with a friend. Share it with somebody that you feel like would be interested in listening to this podcast. And who knows? If you have an idea, all that, make sure you let us know. So, Matt, I'm going to let you finish off today with anything that's on your mind that's not related to Bath and Body Works.
No, hold on. They have a hand soap called Vampire's Blood. Who would want a hand soap of Vampire's Blood?
Until next time, guys, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone, and don't buy Bath and Body Works. All right, stay safe, everyone.
Bye.